Hey Subhro, very excited to have you in our podcast today. Just to briefly introduce Subhro to our audience, Subhro is a global security leader with 20 plus years of industry experience, playing different role in IT security at different organizations. In fact, he has also won Emerging CISO award last year, right? So it's a privilege to have you in the platform, Subhro. Maybe you can briefly introduce yourself a little better and then we can get started with the conversation.
Yeah, sure, Guru. Thank you very much. Very good afternoon. Privileged to be here. And yes, likely you said, you have said it all, but just to say in summary, yes, I do have more than 2 decades of experience in different coordinates of IT security. I've got the privilege to work with some nice global colleagues in some uh, good brand names and have got the privilege to work in different sectors, be it telecom, BFSI, even consulting, as well as healthcare. And yes, right now I'm part of a life science company and heading their global cyber defense. And yeah, that's all in summary.
Great to know about your amazing background, Shubro. Yeah, we can get started without further ado with the conversation that our audience will be expecting. So, Shubro, in a AI era, right? Can you walk us through how a typical day for an InfoSec leader like you has changed, right? So, especially in terms of the decisions and the kind of interactions you have with your peer leaders and your team members, that has changed your routine way of operating, right? So, probably we can start from there to get the conversation oriented towards AI context.
Absolutely. No, it's a very nice question and it's a very practical question too. And seeing the present scenario of AI-based technological innovation solution across the globe. Yes, it did a little bit of change in our daily routine. So we just plugged in that change in our daily routine. So our daily routine is something like that. We start our day, doing an situational awareness of the different threats, emerging threats, um, the different feeds for our different SOC dashboard, as well as our different threat intels through which we are subscribed with. And so there's that. It spends about our first half an hour of the day for sure. Then we gradually flip the page, see whether there is an escalation, and escalations are always there. We prioritize the escalations if it is a very high level escalation, it's a client escalations, or something miss has happened within ourselves. So, of course, we need to take the call accordingly. After that is done, then my routine activity starts, speaks with my reportees in the daily stand-up to know the challenges they're facing in terms of their day-to-day activity, any emerging risks or anything they want to highlight. After that, of course, I get in touch with our AI council. Now, we have an AI council in place. So in our present company, so we are using not only the third-party based AI solutions, but we are also developing AI-based solutions and which are delivering to customers. So we have a guardrail in place. So all these solutions need to pass through our AI council. So I'm also one of the members of the council. So we have got representatives from legal, privacy, even HR to see the human side of it, and we just to check whether there is anything new which you need to review, or if I need to follow up on anything, the questions that I have asked. We have that meeting on every weekly basis, but you know what? There are follow-up items always in place. We have a portal through which we track it. So we just check whether my questions were answered, or there were some questions to me. From our privacy team. So whether they're expecting something from me, so which we also check. And then, of course, it's our day-to-day activity to do contract management. Now, doing contract management, now AI component is added, right? So the clauses, all those sort of things, whether they are, properly added or not. So there are expectations from us by our customers, which as a global leader of IT security organization, I need to answer properly, judging whether my team or my organization will be able to deliver those, right? And second thing, we have got multiple suppliers across the globe. So previously, before this AI era, we were concerned on data destruction, type of data they are handling, as well as the security measures, right? And of course the data privacy part, the legal component, non-solicitation clause, all those sort of thing, the typical earlier clauses. Now the AI specific clauses. We have those embedded in our contract with the blessing of our legal team. Now, let's say they have answered those. So whether they're, appropriately they have answered it, whether they're meeting our expectation. So that also spends quite a bit of my time. And then apart from this, of course, if there is an critical or high IT security incident that takes the first precedence. My team gets involved into it. Of course, I also need to put my thought process in case incident response process got invoked. Then I need to speak with the senior leadership team, our corporate communication team, all those sort of thing. So that is there, but that does not happen, thankfully, every day. But yes, but it does happen. So it does happen too. And apart from it, Guru, one interesting thing I would like to say that though you have asked my daily routine, typical day, how it looks like in the life of my as a senior IT security leader. But if I, eh, I mean, extend it to a weekly basis, then in every week I do keep some schedule in my calendar so that I can learn something on latest technology, and be it from different than AI, or AI is now always a part of my learning schedule. And apart from that, there is something related to management, cultural map, all the sort of things that is also I put in my schedule. And also, so let's say this week if I'm learning something, so next week I make sure that I deliver it to my team, and if required to our stakeholders too, so that we give back to the society and together we keep the world secure. So that is how a very high level my day looks like, Guru.
Great, Subhro. Interested to learn more about your AI council, especially interested to know what are the pressing challenges, because I met a couple of CISOs last week who are from fintech and insurtech industries. So they bring in very interesting problems, very native to their industry. Given you are into life science, of course, pharma, sensitive industry. So, what are the pressing challenges you face? Because your teams, engineering teams, or even tech teams, rapidly evolving with AI capabilities and adopting the tools to improve their efficiency, right? So, as a AI council member internally in your organization, what are those pressing challenges for you?
Yeah, so it's a very practical question that you have asked, Guru, and that is happening with us in every day, in day-to-day life, and all these sessions with AI Council meeting. So to summarize my response, I would say we have two use cases. One is our users, they are trying to leverage any third-party AI solution, number one. And number two, that our developers, they are trying to build something in-house, which they are going to sell as a value-added service to our customers. Okay. Now we have got typically the challenges are of course related to, if I split it up, and if I go to the bottom up approach, then of course the first thing first is, if I break it down into people, process, technology perspective, then if I go to technology perspective, then of course securing the model, the LLM, right? So inversion attack, data poisoning, so which are talk of the town. And also, of course, if there is any zero-day vulnerability associated with the model itself, if the model itself is compromised, then how it will be able to provide the desired result to our customers, right? Even to us also, if we are going to use it for internally, right? So it should give ethical output, as well as data poisoning should not have happened. So that's a bigger chunk of our discussion that happens through the technological part of it, which is generally being steered by myself since I'm representing the IT security function, and along with my boss, I mean, my the global CISO. So it's a part of our discussion. I mean, we ask, we leverage it. I mean, leverage our, I would say, the past experience, and we try to guess all those things based upon the questions that we have at the back of our head. Now, if we go to the process part of it, now let's say something is getting developed in-house, which will be delivered to our customer. Now, in this training pipeline, when we are training that model, right, the LLM, so whether at all there are people who are developing it, they are ingesting the right amount of data. I mean, they are not putting any PII, SPII. Since we are in healthcare, as you rightly said, we are into life science domain, US life science companies who are HIPAA compliant. So of course, our people who are testing that, that tool, they're not ingesting any PHI, all those sort of things. So that, of course, from people perspective, we ensure it through rigorous training that happens as a one time as well as a recurring training. So those things are there. And also, as a countermeasure, we are we have recently started doing a threat modeling also, which is of our of our AI solutions, which we are using and which we are going to deliver to our customers. So that's part of our long-term goal, which we have started very recently. And we have done partnership with many renowned MSSPs, you can say, or security companies who are doing retrieving of our LLM. So this is particularly this strategy we are using for the solutions that we are developing for our customers. But yes, the solutions that we are going to use as a third-party AI solutions that we are going to use by us internally in the organizations, we try to find all these answers from security perspective. Then, of course, there are data privacy part, legal part. So I'm not going into all those things because I am not an SME on those. But yes, so as you know, so it's a collaborative effort from IT security, data privacy, legal, even human resource. I mean, if people while training their model, they are putting unethical questions into it that will compromise that human sentiment. It's not at all desirable, right? So that's a human resource expert who takes care of it. So that is the way right now we are tackling it, Guru. If that
Understood.
answers your question.
Yeah, I think this is helpful, Shivro. I'm sure you're also worried about what you hear recently, right? So there was a Atlassian MCP breach, and Asana also, their MCP had vulnerability. So whomsoever used these tools using their MCP protocols, so now their AI models are already vulnerable, right?
Right.
So with the rapid adoption with these kind of new authentication methods in the AI context, especially MCP and A2A, attackers are also moving fast and threatening the organizations like US. Just curious, right? So how do you prioritize, right? So, like you said, one side your team is trying to build something and do some value added service. One side, new threats coming with the adoption of the third party tools. So what is your framework, or how do you prioritize, or what is your top of mind to act on certain things immediately, to take to command and control, right, in the security lingo?
Yep. In order to answer this question, Guru, let me go to the very basic, very basic of the IT security strategy or the tools that any IT security leader uses. I mean, I am generally fond of it. So it is that our, risk register and significant risk register. I mean, the risk management methodology. So as we know, there are four risk treatment plan we can do, right? Accept, transfer, reduce or ignore the risk. Now, depending upon it, whatever request that comes to our AI council, we first try to, do a quick risk assessment to understand the level of, the inherent risk it is possessing, and with the existing control and with the proper risk treatment plan, how far we can reduce the risk. And what will be that optimum value of that risk? I mean, we quantify the risk value, right? Now, depending upon that, if the risk which are at a critical level or high level, I mean to say the residual risk, we cater those first, critical and high, and then medium and low, I mean top-down approach. Keeping that in mind, in the request that gets stacked in our AI council, so of course we see uh, the risk value, how critical it is, and the next is if not critical, then how high it is to the business, to the organization, from financial loss, I mean financial impact, reputational impact, like that. So depending upon that, we do the prioritization and we go ahead accordingly. So if there is for example, let me try to make it a bit, let me try to explain this. So let's say one of our developers, development team leader, not a single developer. So they are developing a solution, and they are planning to give it as a value-added service to one of our very renowned customer. Okay. And this renowned customer, they are very much excited about it because our accounts team already disclosed the present pleasant surprise to those people. So they are very much excited, and they want to leverage that AI product, which will be developed by us, our developers, and that will leverage PHI, their patient data. So you can understand. So it is from risk perspective, so it's a very high value, right? So of course we see the existing controls from technology side, privacy side, whether they're developing this people, I mean our people, our own people, they have done all the stitching properly or not. Because if they have not done properly, then if something wrong happens in the future, the impact will be on us. So it will be reputational impact, it might be financial impact, who knows? So uh, that is one of the use case I told you.
All right. So that orients me to ask an interesting question, which is unique for infosec leaders like you, because I always ask this, right? So, how do you see now AI, given the risk management you do, whether it's a enabler for your business or it's a new threat vector, right? So, I know it is both, but I want to understand what kind of infosec mindset you are from, because some CISOs say, don't get AI, no, it is a threat, I cannot manage. Some CISOs say, no, no, I think let's bring in, we have to scale our business, improve efficiency, I will try to manage, right? So which genre you belong to, Subhro?
So very interesting question. So I maintain a balance, Guru. We can't ignore AI. I mean, I say this thing, say same thing to my team, that you know what, think AI and use AI the way we are using Microsoft Word, the presentation, PPT, all right? The same mindset you do have at the back of your head, and use AI, think AI like that, think AI as a tool and leverage it, use it. That will increase your productivity, right? Now, there are, of course, security threats, privacy related threats, those things are there. Uh, and like every risk, we can't make the risk zero for it. We can reduce the risk to an optimum value. So keeping that in mind, um, I am in the favor of using AI, but in regulated pattern. I mean, it should be under the umbrella of a compliance. I mean, for example, any company, if they are if they are under the the framework of ISO 42001, the latest framework from ISO standard, right? So if they're using the AI and they're developing the AI in alignment with that framework, and they have a proper risk management methodology as well as a proper data protection plan, privacy protection plan, I mean, privacy information management system they are in place, I don't think that will create problem. But yes, people related risk are always there, even if we are, we are raising their awareness through training, etc. But you never know, right? So it is always there. So of course, that is the reason I am in the favor of doing partnership with many companies who are specialized in AI, right? Who are specialized in AI. So I have a threefold strategy, Guru, to tackle the threats associated with AI. First is, let's do the red teaming of the AI model. Second, let's make a threat model that will align with my, 1 3 5 years roadmap. And third, let's go ahead and take the leverage the expertise of our many third party great companies are there who are specialized in AI. Let's leverage their expertise and plug in into our roadmap, security roadmap. Then I don't think there will be any problem. So I know it is a, I mean, two two-edged sword, but into the I'm into the balanced state, Guru. I'm not into the conservative side.
Yeah, good to hear that, Subhro. Yeah, a lot of CISOs, they are still little, scared, and I think two angles, right? One is for the security organization, should I need to adopt AI for threat monitoring, threat management, threat response, etc., or I need to approve for the other uh, verticals or business units first, prioritize that, and then mitigate the risk, and then let me come to my team. What can we do with AI to really detect the threats and respond, right? So yeah, that is. I think I know. I think both of us know this is temporary. After some point in
Yeah.
time, everybody has to leverage AI on both sides of the world. So the time is not very far. So good to know that. Thank you, Shubro. So now I have a question, especially to the our community members in the Blue Protocol
Sure.
who are on the middle management in cybersecurity, right? They are aspiring to grow in a career to become some leadership position, right? So in their
Sure.
career path. Looking at your career path and growth, can you give some piece of insights and advices to them so that they can learn, adopt, and execute and maybe grow faster like you did?
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, it's a it's a very good question, and keeping in mind we have a huge talent pool in India, and not only in India, across the globe, and people are willing to move into the field of cybersecurity. So my strategy is very simple, Guru. I mean, I do think AI is a technology, and keeping in mind the tool set in my knowledge library, I mean, that I do have, for example, risk management, end-to-end doing risk management, doing proper stakeholder management, doing proper program management, budget management, which is also a very important thing. So, and also, so these are few of the pillars in my, you can say, uh, in my knowledge library or my experience library that I have developed in these last few years, and I'm still learning. Learning never stops, right? So, I do what the strategy that I followed, that I plugged in this AI knowledge in my technology stack. I mean, for example, the technology stack, a senior IT security leader or an aspiring CISO needs to know network security, application security, right? Cloud security. There are emerging security things like machine learning is part of AI only, as well as your augmented reality, all those sort of things. So keeping that in mind, I do keep AI under that stack only, so that, for example, I am learning the new vulnerabilities which are available now, the zero-day vulnerabilities. So there's zero-day vulnerabilities for the CP, new CP, etc., which are applicable for your application, IT infrastructure, as well as for AI also. So I would say, uh, let's keep it very simple. In order to increase our experience or knowledge in that IT security landscape, if one wants to be a CISO or deputy CISO in the future in any company, so let's try to increase our knowledge in all these fields. I mean, program management, as I said, right, risk management, end-to-end risk management, because as a senior security leader needs to translate the technology risk to the business language to the board. Otherwise, they will not understand, right? They will not have the confidence to approve your budget. So they will ask for very finance related term, right? So what will be the return of investment? Have you done the cost benefit analysis? What is the net present value? Is it positive, negative? This sort of question they will ask. So at least we should need to know, if not in great details, we need to know all those things. And as a part of technology stack knowledge, for example, the way we are developing our knowledge on network security, cloud, virtualization security, I miss that. So in the same way, we need to gather and increase our knowledge on AI stuffs too. Different technology, the different threats, new threats which are available in AI. The examples, the classic examples that you gave a few minutes back that happened in the world with that vulnerabilities associated with AI. So we need to have those things, and we need to think strategically. Okay, so if it by any chance if it happens with any of our supplier or any if it god forbid if it happens with us also, how I am going to revoke the I mean I sorry I invoke the incident response process, how I will be able to contain and remediate the incident so that the reputation of my company remains as it is, there will be no financial impact, and the face value of my company remains as it is, and not only it will as it is, it will give more confidence to few of our existing customers. They will vouch for us, and we'll have more customers in the future. And for example, what are the regulations that we need to have for, let's say, in my company, if a person is working in a company which is very much ISO 27001 compliant. So okay, we are ISO 27001 compliant, very nice. However, well, my innovation team, they're aggressively developing AI-based solutions. So is it required for us to go for, ISO 42001, or the another model is there, right? Developed by an NIST framework. So I need to go that. I mean, just blindly adopting any framework is also doesn't make any sense. I mean, that needs to align with our business strategy also. So all those sort of things. So we need to have a bigger, I would say, let's follow a top-down approach instead of bottom-up approach. That will help any a person who wants to be who is an aspiring CISO or wants to be a very senior IT security leader to increase his or her I mean uh, bouquet of knowledge. That is, I would say.
Good. This very insightful, Shimra. As always, I enjoyed the conversation with us today also. So that way, thanks a lot for giving your time and having candid conversation on a lot of the current trends and topics, which is very much running top of mind for InfoSec leaders like you. Once again, I thank you, Shubhro. Thanks a lot joining us today.
Thank you very much, Guru, and you have a nice rest of the day.
Thank you.
Take
Yeah. Bye
care.
bye.
Bye.